We're eating vibrations when we eat food because there is a reality beyond just the physical reality.
Welcome to part 3 of the 4-part series entitled The World Peace Diet, interview with Dr. Will Tuttle, vegan. Dr. Will Tuttle, a Shining World Hero Award recipient, is a composer, inspirational speaker, and pianist, as well as a Dharma master in the Zen tradition. Former philosophy professor, he presents over 100 concerts, lectures, and workshops annually, promoting veganism worldwide. Over the years, he has met and developed a beautiful friendship with Supreme Master Ching Hai in their shared efforts to build a more uplifted, compassionate, vegan world.
Can I sign one for you?
Oh, sure, please.
I just thank you so much from my heart. And keep up the...
Thanks for what you do for the world. You know, we're working together. No need to thank me, you know. We work in the same direction.
Yeah, we're working together, but you're the heart and soul of everything. Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks for trusting me.
Dr. Will Tuttle's bestseller, The World Peace Diet, Eating for Spiritual Health and Social Harmony, outlines the far-reaching implications of our food choices. First published in 2005, the empowering book has been translated into 16 languages and has spawned a movement of conscious, cruelty-free living for a more spiritually, ecologically, and socially wholesome world. In Chapter 8, The Metaphysics of Food, Dr. Tuttle discusses the vibrations that we consume with our foods.
We're eating vibrations when we eat food because there is a reality beyond just the physical reality. It's denied by our society, but our society, modern Western society, is probably the only society out of thousands and thousands of cultures that is so materialistic as to say that nothing exists if you can't measure it physically. So, for example, if we look at a piece of animal flesh that we're eating, or dairy, or some cheese, we have to see that there's a physical reality there, and there's physical toxins in that food, so-called food. There are many chemicals from herbicide, pesticide, fungicide residues that are there. There's naturally occurring toxins in these foods. There's casein, for example, in milk, which we don't have renin to digest like little calves have, so it causes all kinds of problems like diabetes and liver disease and kidney disease and tonsillitis and appendicitis. I mean, all these diseases we get from the physical toxins that concentrate in animal-based foods. But beyond that, there are metaphysical toxins, which are the fact that we're eating terror and fear and pain and despair and anxiety and suffering. We're causing that. And for us to think that just doesn't exist is just an illusion. The Chinese tradition, for example, there's a word qi, which means energy. And the whole idea is that it's the qi in nature and in our bodies that we have to keep in harmony. In the Indian tradition, the word is prana, or energy. And the mother in these cultures, in India and in China, consciously cooks the food for her family with love and with mindfulness, because the teaching is very wise. It's a very wise teaching to put the energy of love and caring into the food, because that's what we're really eating. That's what really nurtures the body. And so nowadays in the West, the food, where does the food come from? It comes from factories. It comes from animals that are abused, and the energy in the food is so violent. And how can we build this beautiful physical body that we have, which is our only precious vehicle for expression in this lifetime, with fuel that has violence in it? We would never do that consciously. So it's because animal agriculture forces us to reduce our awareness that we eat violence and don't see how damaging it is for us. So it's important for us to eat foods mindfully and with joy and with gratitude, but also to prepare them that way and also to gather them that way. We can create an agriculture based on sustainability where we're growing in harmony with the earth. We're not using bone meal and blood meal and manure and pesticides and herbicides and fungicides and genetic engineering. We can work in harmony with nature and grow foods that naturally nourish our body. When we grow foods with love, the plants feel that and the plants respond. And this is the new frontier for agriculture. It's actually ancient wisdom that's been suppressed in our society. But when we treat the plants with love and awareness, they create beautiful healing foods for us. And this is, I think, something that has been understood but has been lost and forgotten. But I think it's something that we're recovering again.
Dr. Will Tuttle has a daily alarm set to remind him to pray for all beings on earth.
Every day at noon, we have this thing called the prayer circle for animals. And we say this prayer, which goes like this: compassion encircles the earth for all beings everywhere. So we can maybe say it together. Compassion encircles the earth for all beings everywhere. Again, compassion encircles the earth for all beings everywhere. One last time. Compassion encircles the earth for all beings everywhere.
Let's take a few moments to join in the prayer circle for animals. We'll be right back here on Supreme Master Television. Welcome back to the World Peace Diet interview with Dr. Will Tuttle, Vegan, Part 3 of 4. Chapter 11 of the World Peace Diet is called Profiting from Destruction. It addresses those who yield monetary income from the destructive effects of eating animals and their secretions.
There are many industries and financial institutions that profit from the destruction of animal agriculture. One obvious one is the pharmaceutical industry, the pharmaceutical medical complex, which really thrives on sick people, really needs a reliable flood of sick people to justify the huge expense and investment in pharmaceuticals and in various institutions that treat people who are sick. And it's not necessary for us to be sick so much. It's pretty well understood now that in the United States, for example, we eat more meat and dairy products than pretty much any country in the world, and we have the highest rates of diabetes, of obesity, of liver disease, kidney disease, heart disease, strokes, cancer, breast, prostate, and colon cancer. You know, these diseases are not natural for us. They're driven directly from eating foods that are toxic. The animal-based foods concentrate toxins that are very difficult for us. There's also agricultural systems and chemical systems and chemical industries that are spewing millions and millions of pounds of herbicides and fungicides and pesticides into nature and genetically engineering animals and plants, causing genetic pollution. All of this is from the mentality of animal agriculture, of dominating and exploiting animals. It concentrates a lot of wealth in the hands of a few industry executives, like pharmaceutical, medical, the big petroleum, it needs a lot of petroleum industry, the large banks, of course, in the background making the loans for all of this, and then food shortages, which are unnecessary. Every year we grow enough food to feed 12 billion people. We have roughly 7.5 billion people, so everyone should have plenty of food, but we have almost 1 billion of our brothers and sisters starving, and it's well understood that food shortages create conflict. Like then you have another industry, the weapons industry, which is a huge industry that's also making a lot of money on conflict and war. And so the unfortunate thing is that we have many industries that are profiting from destruction and that are encouraging us to eat animal-based foods. And we have the media, which in many ways is supported by these industries through advertising. And so the narratives that we're all receiving are encouraging us to eat animal foods, which again increase the profits for the war industries, for the pharmaceutical industries, for the chemical industries, for the banking industries, for the petroleum industries, which are polluting and causing a lot of destruction. So that's why moving to a plant-based way of eating is the most healing thing we can do. And the physical level of our body, the most healing thing we can do for our society, because then we're beginning to create economic systems and cultural systems based on abundance, that we can feed everyone on a fraction of the land, that we can save trees. It's well understood by biologists. They estimate over 100 trees every year are saved by people moving to a plant-based way of eating. So we can save trees and water, help the climate and oceans and rainforests. All these things are interconnected. And when we move to a plant-based way of eating, we naturally heal these problems. So we're seeing, I think, the beginnings of a wonderful new economic, political, and social order based on harmony and justice and equality and freedom and sustainability, based on compassion for animals and for other human beings, and healthy bodies and healthy minds and healthy spirits. And it's based on questioning animal agriculture and bringing our lives into alignment with our values.
Our deep gratitude to Dr. Will Tuttle. May heaven bless you always as you continue to inspire humanity to adopt the nobler, uplifting vegan lifestyle. Let's pray together. Compassion encircles the earth for all beings everywhere. For more information on the World Peace Diet, please visit worldpeacediet.com. Noble viewers, thank you for your company today.